Shahia goes blind. There was an opportunity to the ball, it moved out very quickly. Another take up by the Grey forwards, by the Afis forwards. Arman Shahia moves it quickly out wide to the number 7 flanker, Bayers Ruas. Patience, patience, patience here needed. And it's staying Twitter again, very busy, is the loose head prop. Shahia finds Heymans, moves it to Horn. Not the grace of passes there from inside centre, but penalty advantage. Gray offside. One would feel that the players on the outside may not have heard the whistle. Indeed they have now. Offside. Gray getting a bit too over-eager, as it happens with teams trying to watch their defensive line. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Here at Afi's main field in Tshwane, as the sun that disappeared on Friday morning has come out and is shining very brightly indeed, as the men in white again have an opportunity to make sure that they've got their rolling maul going. Berger takes it. Chita with the ball at the back of the maul. That is a very, very good come through the center from Jean Erasmus, but it's not enough to stop Gustav Morris from getting over the line. That's good try for Afis. They needed to use the forwards to create the space, but instead of going forward, they decided to punch through close to the forwards. Caleb Abrahams was unable to make the tackle that was going to push back the very big and very strong Afis right wing Gustav Moritz. As Afis now have scored their third try, with Heymans lining up his second conversion. Conversion is very much successful, as 29 now plays 17 here in Pretoria, as Afis slowly but surely trying to find a way back and maximize the advantage that has been given to them by having two great forwards in Fourie and Van Heerden being off the field. Transgressions, they're getting the better of the Bloemfontein side. And Heymans finds a very good touch for the men in white, just near the halfway line. As Gray will not want to rule their discipline at the moment. It served them very well when they've got into the 22 of Afis, as Nick Spaling feeds. Sean Erasmus is on the field. Abrahams moves it to Giddy. Giddy finds Van Rensburg, who gets through one, gets through two, but penalty for obstruction. As you can see, the Afis fans, they feel that a fight back is on the cards against this very good Grey side that has only lost one game so far this season, losing 20-17 to Paul Gymnasium and Bolder Club in Kimberley over the May Day long weekend. But Afis find themselves back in the 22. Hanro Fenter again finds himself with the responsibility of ensuring that there's clean line-out ball. And that's taken. Number 19 on as Erg Yosef took it cleanly in the line out. But it looks like it's Smith who's come through the center. And Shahia finds Maritz. Oh, bombs off! Giddy! Nearly got greedy there. Shahia moves it wide. Diantevet! And he's over! The fight back is on from Afis. That is a very, very good try from Heymans. And the home side are finally getting that maul of theirs to get them into prime field position for try scoring. And the backs have responded in kind, as you can hear the cheers from the home supporters. It is, at the end of the day, a home game for Affies, as Stefan Heymans, the captain, lines up his fourth attempt at a conversion. And it is successful. 15 minutes gone in the second half of this FNB Clash encounter between Grey College and Afrikaans Science Hoër School. 24 plays 29. Grey paying the price for the infringements as Erich Jooster collects the very high kickoff. As Jean-Pierre Fourie is back on the field, and it's Burger! Burger puts in the chip ball, collected by Brady Giddy. They are playing with some verve. Or the Vidbulla. Abrahams to McIntyre. McIntyre to Dolby. And he's snaffled in the tackle there. Abrahams back. Moves it to
Release!
Jean Erasmus, who's on for Casper Boudenorst. Giddy with a touch finder. And Grey can breathe a bit. They can breathe a bit. Can Grey? They're now down to 14 with Fourie back on the field after being yellow carded for 2 consistent transgressions. As Grey continue with their gears, as you'll see, the tracksuited players would be the players from the NS16A side. They played the secondary encounter. Berger at the front of the line out, collects. The maul goes again. No contest from Grey College. And it's Handro Fenter, and is well tackled by Caleb Abrahams. Shahia moves it to Jostein, is well tackled by McIntyre, who's taken a knock to the head. It's a very good pass from the loose prop Stein Twitter. But time off from the referee as there is a head knock that requires urgent medical attention. Alec McIntyre, the big inside centre from Grey College. He scored the game's opening try with a chip kick that he finished as Grey moved the ball very well down the line as they made the most of the overlap that appeared as Affies' defense was a bit too shallow at that point in time. Therefore, that Michael Dilanga found himself too deep and gave Grey enough space to move the ball. Time has just started, 70 minutes gone. We're in the second half of this FNB clash between Grey College and Affies in Pretoria. Looks like both front row forwards for Grey have been replaced. And there's AJ Berger and Jean Erasmus on the field. Oh, great take that by the fullback, Michael Dilanga. Shahia puts up a boot, charge down. Oh, well collected there by Marit, the try scorer. But it's being turned over by, no, it still stays on the side of Affies. Scrappy ball there as the teams battle for position. Gunnar van Rensburg having quite a battle royale with Bayers Roos, but it's on Affies' side. Horn puts it on the boot, trying to exploit the space. The bounce gets the better of Gunter van Rensburg. It's Bradley Giddy, trying to run himself off. That's a very good ankle tap from Tian de Vet, from Heinrich Juan, And it's a penalty as Affies failed to maintain the body weight at that ruck. And Grey, one would have to say, have survived on a moment of pressure as Alec McIntyre again has gone down. Bradley Giddy finding touch just before the halfway line. As Nick Whalen tasks himself with the feeding of the line out. It is Duckwater, the great captain, is off. He's been replaced by John Whalen as Casper Bardenos still stays at Lucid, but Affies getting not the cleanest of line-out ball. But it's given Shai enough time to put the ball to boot. Another Gary Owen. Offside.
Ek kan julle nie die hele tyd waarsku nie.
And he's been telling them that
Albei
you
van
guys
julle.
have been ahead of the kicker time and time again. And that gives Great College an opportunity to get their own maul going. One would feel that from that particular position, they will find touch, even though Giddy is a very good goal kicker. Does find touch, does Bradley Giddy. Just before the halfway, just before the 5-meter line, which is a dangerous position for Affies. They are mourning very well, but can they counter is the question. With 15 minutes left, Van Heerden is back on the field. Collects for Gray. They rumble up. They rumble up. The rumble up does Gray, and it's try time. Jean Erasmus is the man who gets the try for Grey College. The danger signs were always there with the lack of patience that was being displayed by Affies. And the moment Grey got into that 22, and if you've watched Grey College this season, when that particular maul starts rumbling, it is difficult to stop. As Bradley Giddy lines up his 5th conversion with 4 successful to go with the penalty. Clean strike. And it's over. Grey are giving themselves 2 try respite as they move the score now to 36-24. Affies had played themselves into a wonderful position of only being 1 try off, but a slew of errors has given Grey College the inside lane again with Giddy restarting. Oh, great tackle led by Tito Schubert, but Grey secured the ball at the ruck. Was a bit ponderous with how he got out of that position, but Caleb Abrahams puts boot to ball, but not out. Finding the left winger, Stian Brits, who finds Gustav Gunther van Rensburg. But Affies clearly playing for position, wanting to get that maul of theirs going. It was a very good kick, but didn't find touch. Ulrich Wahl is the man tasked with the responsibility of finding touch for Grey. It's a very big kick, and that is a very good kick for Ulrich Wahl. From his 22, it is on the 22-meter line of Affies. And with Hayden Tolmay steaming up the touchline, that is ensured that the home side don't have an opportunity to take a quick line out. Leaving that responsibility with the very good hooker Andro Fenter, who's had a very good game today. Scored 2 tries, being accurate at the line out. Having a quick word with Stein Twitter, the Lucid prop, has also had a very good game. Josta got busy there with that line out. And the more rumbles on, the more rumbles on. The more rumbles on, as you can see. Coming in from the side, advantage for Affies, and penalty. And looks like it may be a yellow card. That double blast. Captain is...
Was net in die bin vir daai tackles van hom en vir van die kant af. Kom met hom asseblief. Ek gee vir jou tyd.
As Jay van Heerden is asked to speak to his number 7 flanker, Jean-Pierre Fourie. He's had a very good game, starting ahead of the injured Lucas Meyer. Lucas Meyer came off quite early in the Power Boys game last week with injury. One could say that hasn't been quite missed, as Fourie has put in a very good shift in what is a rejigged back row with stop forth. Jared plays at lock, has moved to number 6 flank, but Fenta feeds the line out, not quite finding his man, as number 20 CF Delport is on for Affies with Abrahams.
Stop. It's over.
Putting in a very good pass. And it is Stehan Heymans, the captain, with a very good mazy run. Shahia finding Zach Maritz, a hard-working lucid prop.
Shot.
There, Shahia again, giving it to Delport. Puts in the pass on stop forth. Shahia again to Heymans, who slips a bit, puts in a dink. Seeing that Tome isn't quite in the best of positions, and it's a very good kick that from the Affies captain. Picked up, despite slipping on the pitch, picked up that Tome, who's played in a variety of positions for the Cherries, was in the best of positions. Grayling with a pressure line out to feed. Grey have been hard hit by injuries with their first choice hooker, Jean-Ray Breitenbach, out with a long-term injury. But he finds Van Heerden, who is now captain, in Waters' absence, and Affies are penalized from coming in from the side in that particular run, that particular maul. Not the greatest of decisions that from Affies. They've played very well to put themselves in a position to give Grey some pressure. There's another clearance kick from Giddy. He's very good with 9 minutes left of this enthralling F&B Classic Clash with Anna Grayling again with the line out feed. And Fourie misses the ball at the back of the line out. Not the greatest of passes from Fenta, but it is the left wing, Stefan Brits, that to come in for work, going on that mazy run. It's a very good kick that is well collected by Maritz, and it's Jooster who does the mopping up. Horn will have to take the scrum off, but Shahia's back. Shahia finds his man, moves it to Heymans, who finds it.
Raak, now leave it!
As we can hear the referee telling Grey that don't touch the ball. Maritz, the loose head prop. The tight head prop, I mean. Shahia finds Schubert again, trying to exploit the gap. And it's a penalty. And as you will see, it is Casper Boudenost. He had rights to that ball, contested well, and was the man to take the ball. With Ian van der Merwe, the Cherries fly off. He is on now for Bradley Giddy. He finds touch. And the choice of playing on the high felt is that you get value for money on your kicks. Changes being rung by the Grey coaching staff led by Yanni Geldenees. Contains Divas de Brain, former Cheetahs scrum half, Helgard Miller, former Cheetahs and Springbok centre, Vian Tupria. Not the greatest of line out that is collected there by Zach Maritz. Shahia finds the hard-working Steyn Tuter, brushes off a tackle. Shahia again. And Tibet gets the ball. Oh, that's a great movement. And it's Heinrich Horn. He's got Maritz on his outside. Chooses to go along. And he beats the tackle. And that's another good offload. Finding Maritz. Affies will need quick ball. And that is Shahia again. Moving the ball wide. Shahia finds Tritter again and moves it to Heymans. And it is Maritz who takes the ball from the pace of the ruck. Abraham's ordering that defenders move wide. Heymans has got the ball and gives it to the left wing. Brits, who's done a lot of hard work. And it's moved wide by Delport. Can Nafi score? No, they haven't. He's been held up. That is brilliant defense at from Grey College. Kevin van Heerden had the opportunity to dot down the ball. Just found himself with the wrong body position to dive over the line. Well, that is, you don't call it a mistake, but that is a golden opportunity that Affis have spurned. They do have the feed into the scrum as Shahia has come off.
Crouch.
With Abel Pretorius
Bind.
now on a scrum off.
Set.
And that ball is given to Heinrich Horn.
Get up, get up.
Oh, that is an unnecessary clean out from Jean-Henry Smith. There is an advantage for a penalty for Affis. And I suspect Gray may finish this game with 14 men. Another advantage for Affis. Oh, another unnecessary clean out. This time it's Stopforth. Gray may find themselves unnecessarily playing this game with 14 men. With Affis now in the ascendancy, with the ball being moved to Berger. Just trying to dive over. Failed in that particular opportunity. And Brits tries to do the work himself. Tries to release to Maritz, was the inside centre, Heinrich Horn. But they'll go back for the penalty.
Captain.
Van
penalty
Heerden
hier of die penalty daar?
being called, not being called over. Heymans preferring to go for the corner. Interestingly, the match official does not have a chat with J.F. Van Heerden, who's now the Grey College captain, where there were two clean outs that left a fair bit
Line is in the middle.
to the mind of those who are watching with regards to the legality. As the line-out ball goes to Affis.
Once.
Coming through the center is the hooker, Hanro Fenta.
Ball is
And the
out,
scrum
yes.
officer on is Arman Shahia. And it's a penalty for Gray. And it is that man, Pardenos, again. He has been very effective at the breakdown. Is the multi-skill prop. And the Jean Erasmus. The number 18. He has been very good at the breakdown. He has effected two critical breakdowns that have slowed the momentum of Affis, as one feels that they had an opportunity to put themselves within a range of a try to reel in Grey College, but with 2.5 minutes left.
As hulle vra daar's 4 minute hoor.
As the ref actually says it's 4 minutes left. But one would feel that Affis have spurned a golden opportunity by not being patient enough. But again, Eric Jooster tells only the line out, secured by Zach Maritz, the hard-working tight end prop. But it's been turned over by Gray. There's no need to lift the player off the horizontal. Abrahams moves it to Jean Erasmus, who finds himself chucking up in the midfield. Abrahams to Jan van der Merwe, to McIntyre, runs into Heinrich Horn. Abrahams gives it off again to Pardenos. Abrahams to Jean-Henry Smith, who nearly breaks through the gap. Abrahams to Van der Merwe, Vaughan to Greiling, and he's caught up in the tackle. Abrahams to J.F. Van Heerden, who motors through the first two tackles. Abrahams again finds Fourie. Abrahams steps one, steps two. He's got the pathway to victory for Gray. And one would say that is the game for the visitors. as Caleb Abrahams, the industrious scrum half, kept the pillar defense busy to a point where it became impossible for Afi's defenders to respond, and punishing them for being profligate in Grey's 22. And with that, you would feel as Grey's win secured here in Pretoria, keeping their 17-year streak intact, with the conversion being successful from Giddy, as the fans are then ushered off the field. They are still looking at the clock, thinking that there's still time, that the time's up. But as the referee said, there were still 4 more minutes to play, as the kickoff is taken by Stopforth, gives it off to Fourie. Abrahams gives it to McIntyre, to Giddy, who I think is playing it out at inside centre, and Stopforth is pushed back there in the tackle. Abrahams to JF van Heerden. Abrahams again to Van der Merwe. Finds ball. Puts in the tip kick. It is well fielded by Michael De Lange, who's had a very good game, and fisticuffs unnecessary at this time of the game, as the cheerleaders try to keep a lid on the game, as Grey College lead by 43 points to 24 with probably a minute to play, as they come to Pretoria again and leave successful. Andreas Berger has played very well, marshaled the line out, carried very well, tackled very well, but it has been one of those collective efforts from Grey where it's difficult to point out, to stand out in the forwards, but the Grey collective always tends to trump individual efforts. There, Greyland are being heckled by the Afi supporters, but finds Jean Erasmus, and necessarily so, the gamesmanship being displayed by the Afi supporters. 30 seconds as Grey amble to the line out, knowing full well that they've come to Pretoria, as they've always done since 2006, and collected a victory once again. That'll mean another group of Afi's players who, by the time Grey will come back in 2 years' time, may not have been born. The last time Afi's actually beat Grey in Pretoria. Won twice in a row in Bloemfontein in 2013, in a team that contained Arthur Snyman and Ivan van Zyl, both of whom graduated to become Springboks. And in 2015, it was Eddie Fouchier who masterminded what was a very good win, along with Edwin Keita. Both those players are now provincial ranked players. So Afi's not shirking its duties in terms of contributing to the provincial cause, as Casper Badenost, who has had a very good game on both sides of the scrum. As you can see, the Afi's fans not quite happy with the time being held up. And the Grey supporters, the Grey Bombs, as they wait for the whistle to be sounded. Grey engaging in a bit of gamesmanship themselves, winding down the clock. They have done the business themselves by ensuring that they have got the game in the bag. As Australian feeds and finds JF van Heerden to Smith, and McIntyre takes a strong ball up the midfield. Abrahams again to Fouchier, hasn't been the most prominent ball carriers, and Fourie moves the ball up through the midfield. And looks like the ball has been turned over. It was knocked forward.
Dankie manne.
And as the ref says, thank you very much, gentlemen. It is the game here in Pretoria, in Sunnyside, as Craig College, as they have always done since 2008, have come to Pretoria. They've came, they've seen, they've conquered. As Craig College march on with a 43-24 win against Affis, and 29-5 at half time. But it was a very good comeback from the visit from the hosts, who then narrowed the score to 29-24. But their patience and discipline let them down, as a Great College with late tries through Jean Erasmus and Caleb Abrahams, making sure that they actually again come to Pretoria and do what they've always done in being successful. 2 tries for Alphonse Isaacs, Alec McIntyre, 2 tries for Caleb Abrahams, with a bunch of conversions from Bradley Giddy. Jean Erasmus also contributing for Great College. 2 tries for Hanro Venter, the very good hooker for Affis, being helped there by Gustav Maritz and Tian de Vet, as Affis make sure at least they come back out of this game with a semblance of pride. But full time here in Pretoria at Affis, Bailey Warfield, it is Great College who beat Affis by 43 points to 24 in this FNB Classic Clash of 2022.
The lights come on and flash.
What they need most of all, Jenny, is some luck.
And action got underway, but look at this card. It's a very different and challenging role.
Oh! Taylor's rolled! And we go green. Very good start. Price goes to the inside too. It's a historic day for Porsche as they take their first formulary win.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. And no one understands this better than our very own African champ that enters the football pitch. The champion. The one that celebrates in victory with pride and also loses with honor. The one that never surrenders and never backs down. The entertainers, the crowd pleasers, the counter-attackers and the shot stoppers. It's the magnificence of our champions, handmade and crafted on our beautiful African soil.
Oh, gets the ball into the back of the net. They take the...
Witness the triumph of the 2021-2022 Total Energies CAF Champions League and CAF Confederations Cup. Live on SABC Sport channels, SABC TV channels, and SABC radio stations in your language of choice. This season, we are #Crowning Champions, and we love it here. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
For the love of the game.
Coach, just straight into camera, first of all, full name and position.
Corneille Korf, head coach Pretoria Harlequins.
Right. What sort of game are you expecting today from the opposition?
Obviously a physical game. Up front it's going to be tough. We would like to spread the ball. Hopefully the weather still holds up. So no, we're looking for a tough one, but it's going to be nice.
You've come off a very good win a week ago. You've, in fact, had a very good start in the first 2 rounds.
Yes, we did. Obviously, we've got a bit of injuries today, so it's not a full team. But the guys coming in, we fully support them and we believe in them. Like I say, it's going to be physical, it's going to be quick, and that's what Carlton Rugby is all about.
I was watching the seconds battle a little bit in the scrum today. You're not going to have any problems?
No, we know they're going to come for us there. That's why we only went for a 2 back on the reserves. So yeah, like I said, physical up front, and whoever's going to win that battle will win the game today.
Best of luck for the game.
Thank you very much.
Hi, ek is Peer van Jaarsveld, ek is hoofafrigter van die Northern Rhinos.
Reg coach, julle kom nou hier na toe na groot oorwinning verlede naweek. Hoe voel jy oor vandag se wedstryd?
Jong, rugby is ons 'n snaakse game. Ou kan 1 week goed doen, die volgende sukkel jy. So ons is baie positief. Dis nie altyd maklik om hier te kom speel nie. Ons het laas jaar ons unbeaten rekord hier verloor. So ons het 'n bietjie goed om reg te stel. So ons is optimisties.
Just wanted to ask, the last time Northern was out on this field over the Easter tournament, it wasn't the best of times, huh?
Nee, weet jy wat, ons het moeilike omstandighede gespeel. Ons kon nie aanpas nie, ons kon nie capitalise op die bal nie. So dis nie vir ons 'n lekker herinnering nie, maar ons is positief, so ek sê. Ons het teruggegaan na die tekenbord toe en we want to just do the basics right. That's it.
Where's this game going to be won and lost today?
Ek dink by die forwards, ek dink by die basiese goedjies, scrums, lynstaande, wie kan die bal die langste hou, who can keep possession, who can capitalise on other teams' faults. En ja dan, vat jou punte as jy kanse kry.
Ek seker julle het gekyk na die oppositie, na wie sien julle uit, teen wie het julle spesifieke planne gemaak?
Weet jy wat, ons weet hulle het 'n baie goeie pak forwards met 'n paar blou bulle wat ingekom het, so ek glo hulle gaan ons daar aanval en dan het hulle baie goeie fly-off, so ek het 'n paar plannetjies beraam of ons hoop dit gaan afkom met hulle om dit teenvoeter te kan kry, maar ja, ons is positief.
Geluk vir die wedstryd vandag.
Baie dankie.
Heritage Rugby back on your screens this afternoon on the biggest platform that club rugby can get in South Africa, SABC Sport, in conjunction with our partners SEI Sport. The team in shot right now, those are the men from the Northern Rhinos, from the iron mining towns of Limpopo, and they are the losing finalists from the Carlton Cup final last year. They're, of course, up against the home team Harlequins today in a 3rd round match in the Carlton League, the World Sport Betting Carlton League, taking place right here in Pretoria. That is the famous colours of the Harlequins. And on that note, I am sure I am smelling bride meat on the coldest Saturday of the year. Lawrence Apaka, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Odo. Certainly a beautiful day. It might look very nice and shiny from your screens today, but I can tell you we're probably working on single digits in terms of temperature. But certainly it's going to be a warm, entertaining match here today. But look how the second team ended.
Yeah, that man in screen.
And it certainly does. Dlamini panicking and actually losing his bind. You can see that's a sense. I know this man is coming, packing a punch. If it doesn't hit him right in the first instance, it's going to be trouble all day. And of his experienced referee, all this thing unfolding in front of him, it's an easy call for him to make.
John Valtagen, fullback, man from Vogbo. Went to Affies as well. Takes that penalty, he doesn't find the touchline. Gabriel Smith here with a massive punt upfield. And that man Maliviwe Smanga got there for the quick line out. Man alone, but he survives. Gets the ball back out on the Rhino side. Sosibo joins in the advance and they've lost it now. In the hands of Harlequins. Dupree gets it out wide. Try scorer calling forward. That looked forward as well. So advantage here to the Rhinos. But that's held up. Dupree did well.
That would have been a simple scrum there for the Rhinos, turned into a penalty because a little scrum of Dino release after that attempted steal or Dupree. They're holding on for dear life and actually converting a simple scrum into a penalty. Rhinos actually having a sigh of relief as well. I don't know what Mkafu was worried about. Is he concerned about his lineup perhaps? Because that move they pulled there was really uncalled for. They would have had a ball. They would have actually had a line out, probably had a better exit. But luckily for them, they get an opportunity as well. Let's see if there was a concern. And that I will understand why the concern is there in the first place.
Simanga goes to the back of the line and finds his man perfectly, and now the drive is on. And they're being pushed inland here instead of on the coastal side. Going sideways and now straightens up. Where is that ball in the mix? Oh, a little bit of a suplex there by Patrick Hutton. Just having a few words there with SJ Oberonse. So a perfect opportunity here for the Rhinos to get into the game, as it were, score some points. Just been a couple of phases where they've, off the back of that penalty, been sitting in the half here of Harlequins. There's that man, John Veldhagen. Also played for Pucker. He was studying there between 2010 and 2014. 30-year-old fullback. So he comes into this game with some good Varsity Cup experience as well from his days at Northwest University. Yeah, fortunately not there. So now Harlequins will want to push on with the ascendancy that they've shown in the first couple of minutes. It's just a little bit of a fight back here by Northern Rhinos. Get off the hook with that one. The restart by Hendrik Mulder is deep, close to the near touchline here. This is taken at pace by Adrian Lowe. Good strong carry by him, but equally good defense from Quins. Hatang to that man, Sosibo. Lovely little offload here to his hooker. And there's the other front rower. They spread across the field here. Bruce Miller finds himself out wide. Now very direct here by Rhinos. Hatang spreads it out wide. Lovely skip pass. What a better finesse there by Bruce Miller. And they're controlling it nicely.
Holding on. Hey, stop, 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 stop! So don't worry, I'm going to sort him out.
Monitor off, monitor off, monitor off. Used to play professional.
Just a little bit of handbags. They're just guys greeting each other, and obviously it's been a while. I mean, the guys have actually had an opportunity to come all this way here. They're not gonna stand up for anything, but obviously the penalty they've been giving to the local team, and an ill-discipline issue that the ref is not happy with. It's something that he'll certainly step out of his game. If anything needs to go by here today, he needs to make sure that discipline is of the utmost importance.
Well, another opportunity, yeah, and it was just a bit of a breeze that started blowing now in the last 5 or 10 minutes, which means that it's in the shoulders of Hendrik Mulder, and it will aid this kick. Mulder, of course, just after high school days, was part of the Bulls Academy. So spent some time with Lions and the Leopards at a young age. Here's a southpaw. This to make it 13 zip. And successful as well. So Harlequins have what they wanted, the ascendancy back. Courtesy of the kicking boot of their fly of Hendrik Mulder.
Yeah, you know, when you come in Pretoria, you come with ill discipline. Guys from Pretoria actually is in their DNA to punish guys who got no discipline via the 3 points, because the boots something that they know how to use here in this valley, the Blue Book country.
Kick off here by Valtagen. Forward goes up, but that one is taken beautifully by Sinead Willemse. Colin Ford was lifted, missed that one in the air completely. Now it will be feed time at the scrum for the Rhinos. Here's another important clash.
Great opportunities there for Mafu.
Mind! Set! Keep it up.
This looks better.
Great scrum, boys! Great scrum!
It's out on the Quinn side. Duprier passes to Mulder. Won't get this out. It's Valtagen, the fullback in position. Goes for the big up and under. Can he get there? Fantastic take by Tian Spritz. And now cheeky little kick into the pocket. Lovely bounce as well for Harlequins, and he does well, does he? Ruan Duprier. The barista from Pretoria to get that ball back on the side of Quins. He's behind that maul as well. Lovely hands here, calling forward. Oh, it's a big tackle on him, but the offload was there in time. Now dumped out on the side. Did he have ball in hand? Linesman says yes. It's a good tackle there on Adrian Hubert.
It looks like the right winger there, and actually Brett, that actually got dumped on the hard side here with cross defense from the big man, which was close up the veil. I mean, they just ran back in defense. That they need to make sure get their ducks in a row, make sure they get this line out. They opt to go for a 6-man line out. No, actually a 6+1. All the forwards close by. It means they're looking to drive as well from that line out. There's no way a scrum half is not there and they're going to do an OT ball.
Lovely take in the back of the line out there, I beg your pardon, by Sinead Willemse. Kwesi Mafu finding his man beautifully. Tsiu carries now. Good retention of the ball. Hatang to the other big man. So Sibo crashes into the contact. That's on the side there. Perhaps just held on to that ball a little bit too long. Lovely inside step here. Challenging the advantage line. This is good play. Sinead Willemse. He'll take it up to the halfway line. And they'll come back inside here now. Into the open side of the play, but how's that for a counter ruck here by Harlequins? They come away with the ball. Formente says play on. Delicious rugby here by the Lucies. Damian Fuller does well. Duprier to Mulder. Mulder out wide. Tian Brits with the ball. Lovely take on the blind side, yeah. All alone and all the way to the try line. That is fantastic thinking, smart play by Dylan Vederman. Second try of the match, both of them falling to the home side, Quins.
Yeah, that's heads up rugby there from the big man, making all the effort in the first place to get there. Presence of mind. Scrum half is not there. Ball is available. Let me show the scrum half how it's done. A pick and go on the open side, which is a blind side. There's no one to be found, and he couldn't probably score an easier try in his life. And certainly is going to make sure it takes all the time in easier to make sure that everyone realizes it was just scored this beautiful try on the blind and running like a right winger.
Former Sharks under 18, under 19 and under 21 player. Born in Vanderbijl Park. Schooled at Waterkloof, then went to Glenwood, which is that KZN connection. And just for a moment, receiving a bit of treatment. It must have been from earlier contact, because I can't imagine that shoulder injury has come from dotting the ball down over the try line, Lawrence.
Yeah, usually that kind of shoulder you get, when a collapse of a scrum, conversion is good from the general. It's on the 2 points they would have converted, making a full complement of 7. I'm talking about, obviously, that should have come. Look at that, maybe from that handoff, who knows?
A little bit of a dislocation.
Yeah, but I think the shoulder that's problematic is the one that is holding the ball with. Maybe when he did that extra roll, must have actually did it on something that is not used to doing, but also could be coming from a scrum. Sometimes when a scrum collapses and you've bound too deep with the hooker and actually tucked in under the hooker, and the hooker tends to put a bit of more pressure on that. Hopefully he's okay.
Forward there with a good jump and take. Missed the previous one. Love how you said, sometimes when the scrum collapses, as if I would ever know what it feels like to be in that cauldron.
I'm telling one person who doesn't like that, especially when it's wet, it's the guys like Mafu in the middle there. When that thing collapses, your arms are both stuck on top of big men. There's no way to protect yourself. It's face first, and basically gonna hold your breath, and hopefully they stand up quick enough before you swallow some water.
So just to clarify, man in the number 16 jersey is Kwesi Mafu. We have on our team sheets, of course, jersey number 16 belonged to Maliviwe Smanga. Men similar in stature, both of them hookers. But it is Kwesi Mafu who's in the number 16 jersey, playing as hooker here for Northern Rhinos in the starting position. Kershwell Williams with a good carry. A little bit flat-footed, but they've done well here. Harting now with a big feed to Sinead Willems on the inside. Is there again. There's that man, they call him Percy. Tricky feet, Kershwell Williams.
You want it, play on.
But it's been stripped here by Quins.
Let's go wide.
Very good defensive work. Oh, that's a bit high.
Run away, tackler out. Okay, there's a ball.
Big boot up the field by the fly-off. Oh, goodness, has that gone forward? Ball meant to the referee's face. Now, a bit of an aimless boot up the field. It's the 8th man calling forward. He'll gain pace and momentum here. Kicks it straight into Bruce Miller, and has it been dotted down before the dead ball?
I think a dead ball might have won that race. I mean, look at that presence of mind from the big men. Obviously, charged down first of all. Oh, grabble that went wrong. It's very important that the tight head did the right thing. Bruce Muller just kept on chipping it on and making sure that the ball keeps on moving, although the players might be slightly in front of him, but the ref didn't see it. But they need to deliberate to make sure that the ball was grounded before the dead ball line. But by the look of our screens, it looked like he just missed that opportunity, the inside center, unable to actually gather it in, but will be an exit. Are we going try time? No.
I reckon so. I reckon he got something on the ball just before the try line there. But the referee says no.
It means we'll be at 22.
And that last play, like, unless something was on the line at the time, that last little replay there suggested that the Rhinos got that one.
Yeah, and I think the disadvantage here, the touchdown, was also not close enough to actually be in line with that line, because they were slightly behind, so it's all good. So the 22 drop up it is, and then they need to make sure they do it from far now, way deep into their 22. Let's see if they can do it. Uh-oh.
A nice little chip shot there out of the bunker. Well work there by Jacobus Wouter de Villiers. But in the process, they've lost the ball. Harlequins have done so well in recycling and retaining possession here this afternoon. On this occasion, not so much.
Rhinos say if you can steal our ball, we can do it too. Just the lack of protection when it comes to the right time there. Obviously, Harlequins guilty. Seems like the new man who just got on. And then Ebo Dlamini, I mean, he's basically come on, replacing the loose header. Obviously, that arm must have been really problematic. But I suppose what a way to go out, being on a highlights reel, and make sure you go take a break, something to chat about when you're sitting on a bench.
Well, he's an accomplished substitute, I'll tell you that much. Cebo Dlamini hails from Maritzburg, born in Eshowe. But he's played for Tuks. He's been on the books of the Blue Bulls. So very accomplished indeed.
No, certainly he's mobile in his school days. Actually, for Maritzburg College, he is actually a handful. And obviously, when it comes to the professional era, things is not as easy as it is at school because you're dealing with a lot of numbers. Opportunity comes in leaps and bounds. You got to make sure when you get an opportunity, keep on going. And there's no one else that they can learn from than the number man wearing number 6, thin on his back. He's been in the professional side of things. He's still enjoying his rugby like it's actually happened yesterday, which is a good thing to see that he didn't play only for the money, but to make sure he enjoy himself.
Very good defensive organization here by Harlequins. But it was advantage to Rhinos, and it's that man, Patrick Hutton. Very strong runner with the ball. He scored a hat-trick, of course, in the Carlton Cup final a year ago. They still lost that game. But he can be tricky on the fringes around the try line. Just gets the big man, Mafu, going. Mafu with some good work. He's 1.5 meters away now. On the inside here to Mkhwebi, Lelum Mkhwebi. And it was recruited from Saldanha. Iron of a man from the iron mining areas. Hutton, yeah, with it. Oh, what a lovely bit of play. I told you. He can be so dangerous on the fringes at around the try line. Feigned the pass and then came inside. Just have a look at this again.
It was
Harlequins didn't know what hit them yet. Just have a look here. Bit of a body swerve. Forward goes. No attention on the ball carrier. And Hutton in for the try.
We can't forgive the culling forward there. He just got out of a ruck. His bearings was in the 6 and the 7. Obviously knowing this man Hutton, that's what he lives for. Those fringes, there was no gap to talk of there. There were 2 players covered, Puller 1 and 2, but he still managed to sneak it in there. That's how sharp he is around those areas, and he loves scoring tries. I saw this man was dreaming to be a wing or fullback, but certainly he's in the middle of the things. He's in touch with the ball all the time. The general decides to convert and make sure Williams actually adds his 2 as well. Now we've got something going on, and only a 10-point deficit. Northern Rhinos are certainly feeling like they've got a chance here. You know, it's only a half time. We've got a lot of time to go.
So ver opwindende wedstryd tussen hierdie twee. Moet sê van verlede seisoen se vorm af sou jy verwag het dat Northern Rhinos miskien net nader aan die spelpyl sou wees van Harlequins. Hulle het nou wel teruggeveg hier met 'n 3. En hy man Pierre van Jaarsveld, die afrigter van Rhinos, sal nou net bietjie meer tevrede wees. Maar met die telling dalk nie. Dis goeie tekens hier van die manne in die streeptruie. Williams wat aangee. Veldhagen wat nou wyd om die veld hardloop. Meters gehardloop, maar seker net so 2 meter vorentoe. Hutton nou met die skoppie hier. Op calling forward. Hy is oral op die park vanmiddag. Sien ons werklik wat ons nou net gesien het. 'n skepskop van die 50 meter van die halflyn af. My liewe aarde.
Ons het dit al gesien en ingesien in TV-skerms en sulke goede. Maar dit is definitely moontlik. As hy man dit kan doen, beteken ek kan dit ook doen. Dit beteken hy moet net 'n bietjie oefening vat. Definitief net 'n bietjie kort. Ek dink as hy net 5 meter bietjie vorentoe was, maybe by die 10, was dit 'n moontlikheid vir 'n 3 punte van 'n dropkick in die middel van die veld.
Is die ambisie van 'n hotklou. Man met die linkerpoot. Hendrik Mulder wat daar met die skoppoging nie geslaag het nie. Baie ambisieus.
Remember that dropout I talked about, overcooking it from your 22 is actually a very dangerous one when you're trying to earn some bit of ground, but also earn closer to the line out, because it's dangerous. Once you get it wrong, it means you bring the whole team back to come scrum right in front of your poles. And obviously when you got a scrum like the Rhinos has, I'm sure it's not much of a concern, but it means your defensive system needs to be in place to make sure that you keep Harlequins out of. But knowing Harlequins as well, that they want to get something out of this, 3, 5 or 7, depending what comes first, they'll take it by all means.
Bevelvrigter Quins het wel gesê dat hy bekommerd was oor die skram van Northern Rhinos. Hulle het 'n groot reputasie, maar hy het wel gesê hy het 'n paar planne beraam. En sover werk die plan perfek. Lieflike aangee hier. Uiteindelik in die hande van Tian Brits. Hy word gedwing hier uit die veld uit.
Daai hoendervlekkie was hy lekker gekook daar. Hy was bietjie rou nog 'n bietjie. Hy moes hom net bietjie vaser oor die vuur gemaak het. Maak seker die regte vreel kry daarom iets ordentlik om mee te werk. Jy kan nie so iets hanteer as nog 'n kookoond en voor jou, want hy man was reg om te dek. En jy kry seker pas en maak dit net moeilik. Want ons staan of jy nog 'n dek ook van dit. Maar dis goeie basic skills that need to be in checked to make sure you make everything count after the good scrum.
Maar vir weer na Shanae Willemse toe. Vind sy man perfek. Dat lyk goed. Snoepie. Goeie posisie op die veld en strafskop ook aan hulle. Dit is wel Kerswell Williams wat die bal in die hande het. Kyk net weer hier. Mooi deur JB du Toit. En hy bal kom eenvoudig net nie uit nie.
Ek wonder sê die ref het hom saam gehelp die dekslag kan slaan of was hy net te laat om die bal te probeer steel as hy maar daai vir my 'n bietjie reg gelyk vir 'n speler wat aankom om bietjie sy kans te kom vat en obviously dat soms dit werk nie soos 'n lottery daar soms so maar iemand die vat wat hy kan kry op hy regterkant van die veld kan jy maar enige kans vat. Let's see kom Mafo sy bietjie sy bal weer gaan kry.
Mafo vind weer eens sy man. Nou gaan hulle 'n bietjie veld op dryf. Ja, die bus het nou net die halte verlaat. Goeie werk en is Mafo self wat nou die breek maak. Hy het bietjie vorentoe gelyk. Waar is die skeieregter? Ja, hy stem saam Paul Mente.
Yeah, no, certainly they. I think he just
Come here, gents. Come here.
Maybe lost his footing on the process of going there. He broke. I think he attempted hand or to offload. I suppose he didn't have control of that ball to start with. Usually that you use one hand because obviously one is for balance and when you weigh it down, you lift it to the next person. He tried with both hands, had no control. But let's see if now he can actually affect any difference in terms of pressure pushing on Harlequins here on this side and making sure they need a right shoulder to force Harlequins to go blind. So they actually don't have an open field to actually defend.
Yeah, Pierre van Jasveld will be a lot happier with this. Just in the last couple of scrums, the Rhinos have certainly held their own. No, penalty from this situation, yeah.
No, Rhino says it. Lamine has got problems here. Remember the guy that was starting was supposed to be called a starter in the team and Weideman and hy't bietjie swaar gekry in die begin ook homself. I mean obviously toe hy nog opkom, hy's van Stel om bietjie nog beter te doen as vars. Maar ek dink obviously 'n paar minute het aangegaan en ek dink die Petro raak ook bietjie minder in die ding. Maar die manne soos Bruce Miller wat eintlik scrums eet vir breakfast, lunch en supper. Soms hierdie goed is baie makliker as die game stadig getok is.
Nee, Willem sê uiteindelik baie goed gedoen daar die agste man om daai bal terug te kry op die Rhino se kant. Dan word daar vinnig na die bal gespeel deur die Rhinos. Zaiman Sosibo wat die bal verder opvat. En nou Bruce Miller. Onbeskikbaar. Hatting kyk op die blind, maar hy gaan opveld skoonveld kant toe. Voet eenvoudig net afgestamp van die bal af daar. Deur Kwesi Mafu. Daai man is nog steeds duidelik in pyn.
Ek weet hoe kom gaan hy met hom praat, want hierso wat hy niks verkeerd en nou het bietjie hoog gegaan toe kom hy uit, maar ek dink omdat hy gelos het, maar Mafu het nie gesien het gelos nie. Toe gee my 'n bietjie 'n chip ookie in die rubbertjies en obviously dit voel dit was van die bal af. So it's off the ball and unfortunately Mafu they got his timing wrong. And obviously I think that the blindside flank as well was very smart. And Demon Fuller to actually milk it because he realized that it could be easy yellow card here. and he did exactly that.
So Kwesi Mafu, he's been sin-binned. He'll spend the next 5 off the field and the first 5 in the second half. But one of the opposition players, I'm just hearing it in my ears, was Mafu was calling for a yellow card for the high tackle, and the opposition player saying, yeah, you saw it on TV.
Certainly not. Obviously, he got frustrated since the yellow card was not coming from the ref. He wanted to take the law upon himself. Unfortunately, he's not the sheriff of this field today. He needed to comply.
Yeah, play to the whistle, as they say. And whatever advantage they would have gained from hitting back with that try, it's now going to set them back for the last few minutes of the first half. Kershwell Williams, yeah, lovely little kick, but he can't get a hand on it. He's tackled without the ball in hand, though. And it's Harlequins. And it's that man, Duan Gunter. A bit of aggression after the whistle as well from him.
Yeah, certainly not. Obviously feel like that should be the same.
Let's just keep quiet and play the game, please. Please. Other calls will go against you, other calls will go against them.
Yeah, no, certainly the ref said play the game, because play to the whistle. Remember, I'm the man with the whistle. I can only blow what I see. For him, he felt that the tackle was committed. And obviously, if he got him late or not, it's a matter of margins and seconds, milliseconds. And obviously, the Mafu, since he's taking a break, is going to make sure that Mali Viwe, Simanga, gets an opportunity. Who's slightly shorter. Usually when it comes to that, you'll find that the scrum gets slightly compromised, because a certain way that the adds Mafu might be slightly different here. Let's see if that's the case.
Simanga with a scrum cap in the front row for the Rhinos. Man who was born in King Williamstown, Dale College educated. Also played some varsity shield for Walter Sisulu University. And as are so many of the players in this Northern Rhino side, all of them artisan assistants. Men who work with their hands up in the mining areas of Limpopo.
Yeah, certainly indeed. I mean, it comes to varsity days. Now, unfortunately, the ref didn't call it as a knock on. Harlequins get to actually get out of trouble there. But obviously, Rhinos making sure that they're not getting much meters, getting themselves and actually working extra hard. Seems like Mafu is not there. So we've certainly got one man short when it comes to that department. So the defense system needs to really come work very hard.
Stop. You're in front of the kicker.
Kick deep into the territory of the Rhinos. It goes over their try line. And I'm not quite sure if that was inadvertently just dotted down. But it will be a dropout.
Now, I think he waited just right enough. I was hoping not trying to pick it up, because that could have simply been a knock-on. And actually from a bad kick turning into a brilliant kick by virtue of a mistake.
Let's go.
Now, actually buying some more time. You see the blindside flanker, they tell him, listen, take as much time as you want at and low. They're actually making sure that he's milking some more minutes of that clock before the other time is over.
They've been running it all afternoon, and that's a brilliant tackle to stop the centre in his tracks. Comes out on the side of Rhinos in the form of a penalty.
Actually, for me, that's actually a waste of opportunity. I mean, Osborne did so well. I mean, he's been running all day, getting meters. Now having to take a ball that is quick and slowing it up by pick and go in the middle of nowhere with no support whatsoever. And Rhinos were like, and I agree with you. Certainly will take this one, because they've got no cleaners, not protecting their own ball. And we've seen this time and time again, where something is quick, we need to send that ball to the general, so the general can do something better with it to make sure they get it to the wide channels when the opportunities might be lying, depending where they are on part of the field.
That man in shot, Kershwell Williams, just in the last 12 minutes or so, has been a lot more involved in marshalling that back line and controlling the tempo with his boot. Maliviwe Smanga taking over from Kafu. He finds his man as well. Shanae Willems has been jumping brilliantly in the line out all day long. Batting with a turn on the inside here. Apologies, in fact that was Anthony Brandt. A nice little kick into the corner. Very good position for the Rhinos to be in with less than a minute of play left.
I think Williams has actually swapped roles there with Hartang because actually did it perfectly. I wonder if his first choice position is not scrum half because built like a little nugget is scrum half to start with, playing at the jersey number 10 there, but that was a well executed box kick into space and actually got some decent meters there. What's important now needs to happen is like the Rhinos need to apply maximum pressure, put up as many guys as they can, because I'm sure this ball won't be easy for Van Zyl to get it in because he knows he will be under pressure, and if they can get their contesting correctly, but unfortunately they do nothing.
Yeah, chose not to contest there. But by the same token, this is really good work after the line out by Harlequins. They're walking this ball out of the defensive area now. And now the counter comes from Rhinos. Excellent work, some of them been sliding there as they get pushed back, Rhinos. Confused as well in terms of where the ball is. Just what they wanted. It comes out on the side of the Rhinos. They have a penalty. Bruce Miller, the hero there.
Yeah, certainly half time, not a penalty, because once you take it in, you need to get it out. If it doesn't come out, that would have been a scrum if there was still time to play with. Rhinos doing certainly well. They lost some meters, but make sure they got a hands on the ball. Harlequins, actually, Nando using that opportunity, but I'm sure they'll be happy going into half time with 17 points to 10. Oh, 17 points to 7.
Yeah, it's 2 tries versus 1. 17-7. It's a 10-point game. Pretoria Harlequins, the home side. They lead over the finalists of the Carlton Cup from a year ago. Those are the statistics. Territory and possession, pretty much a tight game. So too on the penalty count, so a nice open game. And as we said, 2 tries for Harlequins, a try for Northern Rhinos as they head back. And it's the home side who lead 17-7 after the first 40.
Wearing his sculptor hat, he creates captivating statues created from stones, bones, wood, and waste material. In his studio, you'll see an enormous piece of carved granite juxtaposed against smaller pieces shaped out of wood and bone, often decorated with beads. You need to look very closely at each piece because each one tells its own story.
A cultural activist and teacher, Professor Pitika Nduli, Sunday at 9.
There are 2 ways to be happy. Improve your reality or lower your expectation.
The basic expectations, which is she'll cook for me, she'll take care of the household.
Before you get married, before you engage in a relationship, you need to understand you, because values then inform expectations.
With me, it's quite easy because my wife is my best friend.
You know, there's a saying that I love that says, what if I fall? But what if you fly?
After the Bows, every Sunday night on SABC2.
On the next episode of Triumph.
Men are overwhelmingly perpetrators of violence, but they are also victims of it.
It's like, hey Dad, my 40-year-old teacher slept with me at school today. Oh, I hope she's hot. People come and say, wow, how did you get through it? Well, it was my normal, that was my life.
Did you have to pretend to be strong throughout this whole journey?
All the time.
Is it because men are macho strong, you don't cry?
This week on Simcha, we meet author Irene Berman, who talks about her book, Tucker Wants to Fly. We visit the building site of the new premises of the Torah Academy Girls High School, and we learn about the symbolism of pomegranates in Judaism. Catch Simcha every Sunday at 6:30 a.m. on SABC2.
It's Ruan Dupré, the barista, the coffee maker from Pretoria, who gets the first pass out. Tell you what, we saw an intriguing second-team match between these 2 sides where Northern Rhinos just about held on 37-34. But here we go, Harlequins in action here. Lovely interplay by the forwards, and now the backline players get involved as well. Very early, that layoff there by Damian Fuller. Kevin Osborne getting them going. Lovely little kick through, coming around there by the 8th man, and he will get to the try line. Carling forward, what a score that is. An English teacher from just up the road here, the man with the shaggy hair, and he gets the first 5 points of the game.
He might certainly a good start there from the home team, Udo.
Easy as you like, 2 points added, so 7 points the lead, and we've only just begun. Tell you what, this Harlequin side was so quick, as you explained now, and just turning defense into attack, and if that is the start here, this Northern Rhino side have their work cut out for themselves this afternoon. Simanga goes to the back of the line, finds his man perfectly, and now the drive is on. And they're being pushed inland here instead of on the coastal side. Going sideways and now straightens up. Where is that ball in the mix? Oh, a little bit of a suplex there by Patrick Hutton. Just having a few words there with SJ Oberholzer. So a perfect opportunity here for the Rhinos to get into the game, as it were, score some points. Just been a couple of phases where they've, off the back of that penalty, been sitting in the half here of Harlequins. There's that man, John Valtagen. Also played for Pucker. He was studying there between 2010 and 2014. 30-year-old fullback. So he comes into this game with some good Varsity Cup experience as well from his days at Northwest University. Damien Fuller does well. Dupree to Mulder. Mulder out wide. Tian Brits with the ball. Lovely take on the blind side here. All alone and all the way to the try line. That is fantastic thinking, smart play by Dylan Vaderman. Second try of the match, both of them falling to the home side, Quins.
Yeah, that's heads up rugby there from the big man, making all the effort in the first place to get there. Presence of mind. Scrum half is not there, ball is available. Let me show the scrum half how it's done. A pick and go on the open side, which is a blind side, where there's no one to be found, and he couldn't probably score an easier try in his life. And Seth is going to make sure.
Second half action about to kick off here at the home of Harlequins in Pretoria. It's the home side who lead 17-7. Double-digit lead over the finalists of the Carlton Cup last year, Northern Rhinos. So is this one for the form book? Certainly suggests it at this point. Both sides off good wins from a week ago. It's a third round match, of course, in the World Sports Bet Carlton League in Pretoria. Club rugby at its finest under the banner of Heritage Rugby here on SABC Sport in conjunction with our partners SEI Sport. This Rhinos side in the last 10 minutes or so of the second half, we're just starting to show signs of dominance, at least from facets of play like the scrum. It is their feed here, and right on their 22, but what a shove that is from Harlequins. Hutton, the captain, gets it out quickly, and they get play going up the field through Jacobus de Villiers. But holding on there in the ruck, and very good work indeed by outside centre Kevin Osborne.
And we know how important these points are for the home team. Another opportunity which should be a formality. Seems like an easy enough kick for him to slot in. For a guy who can try doing anything from a halfway line, I'm sure this one, he does it in his sleep, and certainly we're yet to see, and it's pushing that scoreboard with the extra 3 points to make sure that this game doesn't slip away from their grasp, even by the slightest margins.
Audacious drop kick from the halfway line in the first half from Hendrik Mulder. That was short and to the left. It's a big, powerful left foot there in this fly-off's arsenal. Is the direction there? It is indeed. And the lead now pushes out to 20 points to 7.
Another opportunity here for a dropout for Rhinos, and make sure that they need to make this a contestable, because remember now, if you give it ball back, I don't know if the Harlequins doesn't control it, but you gotta enforce that to make sure they don't control it, so you can have an opportunity of turning defense into attack by via a kick. But Harlequins is gonna be very key that they actually look after this one. A decent hit there on a Harlequins player. Need to make sure now that they actually exit properly while they deliberate about it, how to actually give an angle to the number 10 to have a better chance of actually getting yards on that kick.
Taken back.
Duprier to his fellow pivot. But sadly, Mulder won't get the touchline here. What a terrific carry and offload as well by Anthony Brandt. Patrick Hutton keeps it alive. The captain looking for support. He gets it in the form of Adrian Lowe. Plenty of support now. Hutton feeds to the open side. Kershwell Williams on the inside to Cheney Willemse. And for a second there, I thought that Harlequins had stripped it away. We've seen Christopher Juries come onto the field as well in the meantime. Of course, up amongst the forwards, still a man down after the yellow card. But here's an interception, and nobody is going to catch this man. Etienne Matthys, the vice captain for Harlequins.
Udo, we're not needed here with kind of commentary like that. Obviously, Matthys making actually the centers angry in that direct translation from the spectator, showing a bit of pair of wheels, and certainly just not just the power in the scrum, but certainly does the special things in the open wild as well. That was a beautiful kick from Etienne Matthys, a beautiful stretch of sprinting as well, and the skill was required in able to catch that ball in the first place. A certainly well-deserved try from the big men.
You could see the smile envelop that face the moment Matthys rather turned around and saw that there was nobody in touching distance. 2 points added with consummate ease here by Mulder, and now they are stretching their lead. So have a look there, just in front of the halfway line. That pass was hanging for an age. Etienne Matthys says, thank you very much. I'll dot it down in between the uprights in front of the home fans.
Yeah, certainly showing is that's why I enjoy the game of touch on that flash out Monday, when after a game, just to listen the bodies. Clearly this man loves his hand ball run, but certainly his job doesn't require him to carry that much, but someone's to force or to enforce himself upon just to create that opportunity for backline to be running like that. But having the opportunity to get it to do like that, he shows it as well. Obviously, I'm also can do this, but given opportunity to do so. But getting himself in that position, it means that's a plus on its own, means one at the right time, at the right place as well.
Can you believe it? 20-point lead opening up here.
Time is off.
And the second half has just begun. We also saw in the meantime Kwesi Mafu back on the field, Sinbund in the first half for a high tackle.
That was backwards, and then
just 6 minutes here, and already a further 10 points added.
Just a chance Willemse, unfortunately unable to control that ball, knocking it on, and obviously that opportunity gone back and giving the ball back via a scrum for Harlequins to get it after the 22 I think obviously the coach of the Rhinos is obviously showing his disappointment there, not thinking that his team will actually be falling this far behind on the scoreboard, being putting so much effort in everything they did so far, scrumming well, playing well, but just the discipline tends to be letting him down at the wrong times as well. And Harlequins, I think that is a dangerous, losing his footing there, overstretching himself, the big man Fuller. Muller, I beg your pardon, actually overextending himself, so the crash gave in as soon as he could, because remember, he had no place, the whole lock had no place to scrum. He was on his own, and with that kind of pressure that was exerting, just slipped and lost his bounding and giving the penalty to Harlequins.
Booted upfield, he finds touch as well. How impressive has Tlebo Dlamini been since he's come on in that front row, Lawrence?
No, he actually had a slow start because he was drilled in the beginning there. But I think after the oranges, I think he came out a different person. I don't know if he got the same oranges as the other guys, but certainly someone got to him and told him, buddy, you're letting yourself down. He's been a different beast. I mean, from minute 41 there in the second half, and actually makes me wonder if maybe Bruce Miller is not tired himself, and maybe some rest legs are also required to just help their endeavor in getting wherever they need to get to.
Van Zyl to the try scorer, Matthijs. They get it out quickly. Big carry up the field, yeah, by Duan Gunter. Abram Smith with good work. Gets it out to scrum half. Industrious player. Lovely work here by Mulder. But he's held up brilliantly. And it's that substitute Christopher Juries who's done the good defensive work. And are stripped away by the Rhinos again. Lovely work. Beautiful pass on the inside, but intercept again. Can he make it 2 in 2? It's that man Matthijs again. He certainly has an eye for an interception. It's still Harlequins here. They just got to control it here because the defense of the Rhinos still at 6s and 7s. Lovely work. They push it out wide. And it's that man, Gabriel Smith, comes on the inside. There's the try scorer, man of the moment. Out wide to Carling forward. Teacher from Pretoria. And it's taken forward by Etienne Matthijs, the vice-captain. He's been sparked to life by that try that he scored.
He almost got 2 of them like that, but now he needs to go back to his score job. That's slightly forward, unfortunately, from the scrum half, trying to pull an old Grigan there. But unfortunately, you don't need 2 hands for that to make sure it's clean, because you need to throw it like you're throwing the other way. Unfortunately, the Osborne, who's been in the thick of things all day today, he probably read something that was not there. He's lucky as well, because Maf was ready to actually put a first one on him. He actually saw him coming from a mile. Maybe a blessing in disguise that have called for a knock on there. We would be talking other things now, because Mavo really make up for lost time as well in that point in time, having a scrum with obviously some reinforcements as well in the front row. Is it a Lucid that is going? Yeah, the Lucid is giving way there for replacement.
So Sosibo off.
No, the reserve prop, I think from the Rhinos, Etienne van Niekerk comes on to replace Sisibo there and actually giving him a break. And then obviously the number 5, Lenky Lock. Khwebi also taking a bit of a break with the open sider. I mean, all at the same time. I suppose it's just a coach probably throwing a dust there, or caution to the wing, and also Detroit giving way, giving some fresh legs an opportunity to come in and make some magic.
So how much impact will there be from the bench of the Rhinos? As we said, so Sibo, Khwebi and Detroit off. Atang boots upfield. That ball just tantalizingly close, but not out. Well, has it? Yes, it has indeed. Just in front of those that tent we see there, obscuring the line. It's going to be difficult for the Northern men to make their way back here. 2 sides vastly different in history and pedigree. Harlequins, a global movement. Up in Pretoria, they're 120 years old. The Rhinos established as early as 1994.
All those that the democracy of South Africa. But let's get back to the action of things now. They're actually trying to get this ball. I think they do. Unfortunately, giving it back as soon as they got it back. And knock on into touch. I think it might be back into them. Scrum to the Rhinos. And obviously getting it unfortunately. Obviously trying to enforce themselves to make sure they need to get some reward for their efforts. But clearly some of the big men not concerned with the scoreboard, just going through their task, to their things that they need to do to make sure go through the pace. Remember, they're not in total control of the scoreboard as such, but one thing they're in control of is what they do when they get an opportunity to do something, is to try and do it as well as possible to their best of their ability.
Jersey number 17 of Ethan van Niekerk, he's just come onto the field. And, Marfa goes to the back and finds his man. Tackle made. And it is that man, Van Niekerk, who in contact slips. Was Gabriel Smith there with the attention on the fullback. Lovely play here, but it's gone forward. Out of the hands of Kronia.
Stay on side. Knock-on advantage is over.
Yeah, they're from Paul Mente, advantage over. So that will take play up to just over the halfway line. So that's a good touch finder. A little bit of a pressure release here for Harlequins.
Yeah, certainly Dlamini did well there because he was well met by Mafu in that tackle, posed the turnover and actually stood his ground and make sure he got a decent ball for the backs to actually exit on. And obviously the coach seems to be mixing themselves up that Mafu is getting a direct line there from the reserve prop to make sure he gets it in the right place.
Goes in the middle. Sinead Willemse with a good catch. It's the fly of Kershwell Williams who gets play going.
Just behind, play on.
Pass did look forward. Lovely counter here by Harlequins. Caught in possession and nearly hyperextends his knee in the process, but nice camaraderie between the two.
Just touched.
The linesman says it's all for naught because he saw a foot into touch.
Yeah, certainly well explained as well. I mean, if you don't understand that, forget about it, because it's clear as daylight as we have it here, and nothing to complain about. But it's very important now, obviously, Mafu getting ready. His throws have been very good. Suppose his throws alone is not just what the line-out is about. There's a whole science to this thing as well, where the support needs to be the right place at the right time. The jumper needs to get his movement right. And obviously, with all that done with pressure, having opposition, it is getting a bit complicated. The maximum height collection, unfortunately, they're not collected well, but never every community that is gone backwards.
I think Ethan van Niekerk is bluffing because he goes and has a word in the air, but every time the ball's going to the middle to the eighth man, Sinead Willemse. This time it is Kershwell Williams who's been taken to ground. He's been good since he's come onto the field, Christopher Juris. Man who hails from Kariga, went to school at Kingswood College. Live wire utility backline player. But unfortunately, they can't retain the ball. Harlequins with some really good defensive work once more. And it's that man, Gabriel Smith, who's been stepping up on defense.
Come guys, let's go.
He caught Malope Masemola in possession there.
Yeah, unfortunately, the body height not too great as well because he just got struck there. Obviously, they'll take the ball and he needed to fight the ball to get it down. And obviously, he held it long enough in the air, considered it to be a drive. When that gives the ball, basically wants to use it to lose it. Unfortunately, unable to use it, they're giving the ball back to Harlequins until the scrum half is ready to get things going. And run the prayer, making sure he's got to make sure the ball comes in straight. That obviously happy ref is happy. That needs to stay behind the ball. And obviously the player doing a good job there. Attacking backline move. Let's see if they actually pays off.
Chris pass there to Marco Labaskachny, who's also onto the field in the second half here. Played on the inside now. Stopped dead in his tracks is Joe van Zyl. Now pressure on the man at the back. Tricky feet. Bit of a dodgy pass there to Kershwell Williams. He's now pushed back and Harlequins come away with the ball. That was sloppy ball retention from the Rhinos. Lovely little kick over the top there. Will he pick it up? He does indeed. Make sure he gets the try. Just onto the park, Marco Labuschagne. And he comes on and makes an impact immediately. Man from Pretoria, Waterkloof, ex-Waterkloof High School student. But it was a lovely kick over the defense there by Duan Gunter, inside center. Just have a look here. Lovely with the outside foot, and it actually holds up quite nicely. Perfectly there for Labuschagne.
I'll tell you after the game, he'll be telling my plan exactly for that ball to do that. Oh, and that was essentially, did look like it was planned because the chase was good. Remember, most actually kicks are made good by chases, and certainly the replacement scrum half who came on the left wing there, certainly looking the part on left wing, certainly not falling short of speed as well. I mean, that ball needed to be actually controlled, but the bounce was also inch perfect. And if this kick converts that would be certainly a well-deserved effort that Harlequins have put in terms of turning pressure into points in every way possible.
Mulder for the extra 2. Very good contact, comes in nicely, and it will be converted as well. So this lead that was 27-7, I'll tell you what, it's now 34-7 in favor of the home side Harlequins. Who would have thought that they'd be so far ahead over the losing finalists of last year's Carling Cup?
This is a signal that, listen, this is an 80-minute journey that you need to actually take it step by step, and every moment that you get must use to good effect. Remember, they started with small points, only 3 taking any opportunity they got, but that just shows you just what patience sometimes does. Ticking over the scoreboard every time you get. Now they can play with freedom. They can try anything from anywhere, but they're still playing conservative.
So far, they're just pegging Rhinos back in their own half. Now the big boot to the middle of the park. Gabriel Smith has had a smashing second half. What a lovely offload there by Joubert. Try scorer Labuschagne. He goes to ground but keeps it available, and now picked up beautifully by Kevin Osborne. He makes meters, and they're still in control. Danger signs here for the Rhinos, but Patrick Hutton somehow has stripped that ball away. What does the referee have to say about this one?
Just a little bit of discipline from the Rhinos, losing their wits a bit in terms of, Dwayne did well there by watching the little hard tongue. You know how dangerous it can be, obviously damming and faking it there, and obviously not faking everyone. He got actually stragged, and you can see he didn't take it very well. Wanted to actually say 1 or 2 words about it, but he must actually choose his battles there, because that's an extra loose forward. I think he picks about 10 kilogram above his body weight, but like I said, some guys like to punch above their weight, eh? Not in the literal form.
I suppose on last season's form, Harlequins are doing exactly that against the Rhinos. Yeah, there's the bluff again. I'm willing to bet this throw is going to go to the middle of the line out.
No, it's actually a tactic. Remember, when you are trying to float, the opposition look like you're going to take a front ball and you do a dummy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But this time, they didn't do it, but they're confident enough to take that ball back at the back there, which means a good support, good throw. Unfortunately, unable to control the ball, but the refs are backwards, so Mafu actually is awake enough to resuscitate that ball from the death of a turnover.
Holding on to the ball nicely, there's Kershwell Williams. And he's gone sideways a bit. All I'm going to say is in the line out for Harlequins, just have a look at where the 8th man, Shanae Willems, is, and that's where the ball is going to go. It's a big boot through here by Carling forward. It's a foot race. Who will win it? Kicked on further. Will it set up now? No, it was Harlequins who had 2 men in chase, but it was Christopher Juries who got back quick enough in defense.
I think Christopher Juries is ready like a book because he realizes too, if they're going to pick it up, he's going to get ready for a tackle. When they kicked it, like, okay, both of them are not quick enough. Let me just outstrip them and make sure I save my team. Certainly near that situation there. Often an opportunity that was where actually should have been controlled, but just a bit of scuffle at drag time, allowing the replayers lock the Dwayne Wits to actually disrupt them, but they're trying to do everything that is forward, but benefit of the doubt gives the ref to the Rhinos and see if they can actually do something good with this ball.
Muller with a carry. Now offloads to Mafu. And that ball's gone forward and now taken away. Lovely little step on the inside here by the barista Ruan Dupria. Forward. Now in possession. Kicks, but he's stopped dead in his tracks. Ah, what a step that is by Kershaw Williams. Tell you what, whatever he's lost in speed over the years, he certainly has the finesse. That's a lovely carry once more. It's gone backwards, says the referee, out the hands of Adrian Lowe. He comes in to support the man now as well. Will be a penalty to the Bulls. Just superior numbers, but Bulls, the Rhinos, just superior numbers at the breakdown. Which means that they're just playing with more intensity at the moment.
You'll be forgiven, Udo. It is Blue Bulls country. You might be thinking like that as well, because these teams are certainly playing for some Blue Bulls colors at some point in their careers in this region. I'm sure Jake really loves his club rugby around here. He's certainly watching from wherever. I mean, this game doesn't have to come to the stadium. We certainly just need to tune in an SABC and he'll see exactly what he wants and see what he can work with just to boost his reserves there. Make that deep freeze is actually open. That's probably the first mistake from Mafu. And it's...
What didn't happen before that line out? No briefing. No briefing from Ethan van der Kerk. So he wasn't sure where he needed to go. And Sinead Willems is standing there saying, but I thought the ball's always coming to me.
Yeah, certainly, obviously, the Harris Bota probably might be guilty of slightly jumping over, just giving it away as well, like he's coming on the inside shoulder. That looks skew, but obviously something that they need to deliberate over the video, over this match, and see what they can fix about it.
Give you a chance to have a look at the scrum now, but feather in the cap of Heritage Rugby. 5 players from Tuks and Naka Bulls a week ago, sitting on the bench of the Bulls in that Currie Cup match against the Lions a week ago. So fantastic initiative. But it's the Rhinos on attack here. Juries in support.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the number 12, they're playing as an extra loose forward there, the center from Harlequins, actually doing a great job. Duan Gunter making sure he gets up. I mean, how quickly got into that ball. Even loose forwards will probably envy his technique. And I suppose we've got a body and weight and strength. Why not? And certainly on the outer channels, he certainly comes with the weight of gold, getting his team out of trouble. They obviously, the Rhinos are trying everything they can at the moment. And nothing is coming to fruition because Harlequins has actually got better and better as time went on. Seems like the coding also has changed with them giving some sort of coding as well for themselves. Dlamini giving the code and say where the ball might be going. Unfortunately, nothing wrong with the throw, but everything wrong with the catch because it went right through his hands. Support and everything was fine. Anything that's the replacement Locke needs to do is to make sure, look at himself, because that one went right through his hands and everyone to see, and then needs to make sure now he puts the extra weight behind Dlamini to put pressure on the Rhinos. And before scrum, they actually lost that ball because the scrum half didn't look where he's throwing it in. But this time he's got to make sure that they actually earn it and push. And Malam Shoba now is let's see now Dlamini is going to put pressure against Bruce there. Good setup, nice and low Dlamini. But the ball needs to come in, the pressure come in, and the hooks come in, and obviously the pressure building up. Rhinos get out of trouble there, but they need to use this ball wisely.
Excellent pass out wide. He's going to get around his man, but it's the ankle tap that puts the Ginger on the surface. What a timely tackle that was indeed.
That needed a knee-high action like a sprinter, because that's exactly what was led in front of him. And also wide line, and he was actually tapped. I mean, that fingertip stuff. Unfortunately, that got his ankle all twisted, forcing a knock on, and I think a line out. So the ball goes back to Harlequins. I mean, a great opportunity there from a first phase. That was probably the best movement we've seen from the backs from a first phase. Let's see that actually number 8 can take there. Let's see if Harlequins are going to run this time instead of kick.
Massieve laag van daar op die Quinn-speler. Ja, jy voel net, as hy terugweg gaan kom, en moet het nou kom. Lieflike vat daar. Mooi gespeel, Juries, hy is in besit. Die ondersteuning is daar. Die rest kom ook by. Maar die scheidsrechter sê, hy bal is nie laat gaan nie.
Yeah, certainly, obviously, Chryson Strauss not really knowing what to do with that ball in hand, and it took too much time to decide, and actually got caught with his feet down. And obviously, these men playing with a lot of confidence currently. Harlequins, oh no, unfortunately, that also goes completely dead from a penalty. That ball given back to Harlequins to Rhinos via scrum, and what a big mistake. I mean, probably one of the few mistakes this Harlequin team has really made. I mean, look at that disadvantage. They had a penalty, now they have to defend on their own 20 to the own half. I mean, this man has been in the thick of things. I mean, you can feel probably how he's feeling currently.
Ja, Kevin Osborne het hard gespeeld vanmiddag, die buitensenter vir Harlequins. En vang dan 'n bietjie behandeling. Oogbank wat getref is. Is hy skop wat nou uitgegaan het, miskien net die bietjie geluk wat Northern Rhinos nodig het om terug te veg in hierdie wedstryd, want die tyd, hy stap aan as 11 minute wat oorbly in die wedstryd, en hulle loop met 27 punte agter. Lawrence Parker, dit moet terug nou kom, as hy gaan kom.
Nee, definitief, man, hulle moet iets krim, en hulle effort wat hulle heel dag ingesit het, moet daarom iets kry, hierdie het en obviously refs nie, daar is nie lekker nie. Hy kon die bal uitgaan het, want het was op die regte plek, hy was nie seker wie sy fout het was nie. Hy plameer die gras, skef hulle 'n bietjie links. So, dan die bal kon redder gegaan het en die game aangegaan het, en obviously, hy voel ek laat ons weggaan. Die had dan 'n bietjie lang gevat met dit. I'm so bruised, hy was ook happy om die bal te laat gaan, want die job het raak net moeiliker met Dlamini wat net bietjie sterker en sterker gaan soos die game gegaan het. Kleed die man sy engine is mooi geolie. Hy loop op mooi 16 valves daar so, en hy skram baie goed. Hy is baie laag, hy skort. So sy werk was reg uitgesny vir hom, so teen 2 manne geskram. So hy sal verstaan hoekom hy bietjie moeg is ook. Ja, ek dink Dlamini daar is gevat vir hinging en bietjie aangegaan. Ek dink Bruce het already sy kans ook gevat, want hy het gerealiseer as ek hierdie mannetjie aanvat vroeg genoeg het, gaan hy 'n bietjie moeilikheid gee. En 'n goeie skop net buitekant, tussen die 22 en die doellyn. En 'n goeie posisie vir die Rhinos om bietjie 'n goeie lyn staan hier te kry. En vir my, ek dink hulle moet net die kode is vir Mafu gaan gee. Laat hy nie dieselfde fout maak op 'n verkeerde persoon gooi nie.
Ek dink het by nou al die boodskap gekry. Soek net vir Shanay Willemse. Dan weet jy waar jy jou man gaan kry. Ethan van Niekerk wat die afgelope 2 lyn staan en die boodskap gee aan die haker nie. En hy is tog maar die 8ste man. Shanay Willemse wat die bal kry. En is 'n lieflike dryf hier deur Rhinos. Hulle is op die 3, op die doellyn, en is hy man. Is die haker wat self klaar maak. Kwesi Mafu. Sy wedstryd ry wipplank. Hy was afgestuur vir 10 minute vir hoogvat. En hier vind hy sy man in die lyn staan, en hy maak ook klaar vir die span.
Baie goeie dryf daar van die Rhinos. Hulle het baie hoog homself, maar daar was niemand om teen te gaan. Hoekom kan hulle nie hoog gaan as daar niemand wat stop nie? En obviously, Harlequins het 'n bietjie gevind, ek weet aan die slap gevind. Ek weet nie wat het hulle verwag nie. Hulle verwag gaan hardloop rugby wees. En obviously, Kwesi sê nee boys, ons is hier om te speel. Ons het 80 minute, ons gaan ook 'n bietjie van minute van julle leen. Julle kan nie leen 'n bietjie blink hierso nie. Kom ons sien wie nommer 10 'n bietjie daai punte bietjie gaan bytel. Dis koop bietjie mooi laat lekker Williams.
Hy's regs verby. Dis net bietjie ongelukkig hier vir Rhinos, want hulle daai 2 punte bitter nodig gehad. Dit kan 'n verskil gemaak het. Waar die telling net met 20 punte verskil het tussen die twee spanne. Mafu wat hier oordryf met die span. Baie goeie werk hier deur Rhinos in aanval.
Wat ons weet nou is wat gebeur in die geleenthede. Na skor soos daai moet hulle die inskop en dan vat hulle nie inskop, beteken die bal gaan terug na Harlequins toe. En Harlequins gaan nou definitief hierdie bal wil gebruik en bietjie terugkom op die skopbord. Goeie gee. En obviously net so baie goed vir die Harlequins, maar dan kan die bal nog steeds kry, want hulle die bal mooi opgetel het, manne op die bal gekry om seker die bal kom skoon uit.
Die man wat op die veld gekom het hier, Jean-André Michal, lewer 'n goeie bydra sover. Word verder gevat hier deur Joe van Zyl. En deur Rowan Dupré, 'n mooi hotklauskoppie hier. Dwars oor die veld deur die losskakel Hendrik Miller. Dis vorentoe. Die skare weet dit.
Leave the ball, leave the ball.
So clearly Osborne het die afgebly net 'n bietjie sy oë, hy make-up bietjie gaan regmaak en hy's terug op die veld. As hy wat hy aangevat het daarso en probeer die bal ingooi en amper 'n penalty gekry, want die man van die Rhinos, die linkervleuel, wou nie die bal los nie. En dat is gewoonlik 'n penalty as jy uit is, moet die ander man die bal kry aan die ander kant.
Lawrence, vir my baie interessant dat ons in die eerste helfte amper niks van die vleuels van Northern Rhinos gesien het, Daniel Loots en Gregory Klaasen. Is maar nou eers in die tweede helfte wat hulle nou 'n bietjie begin meer betrokke word in die spel. So is net 'n aanduiding van die tipe rugby wat die Rhinos tot dusver in die wedstryd gespeel het.
Miskien die geleentheid wat hulle verwag het nie gebeur soos hulle gedink het nie. Want hulle kon dit ander planne gehad op defense, hulle forceer om snaaks goed te doen. Maar we seker hulle het die mense gebring nie vir niet nie. Hulle het mense gebring om te hardloop. Hulle het 'n goeie backline. Maar as jy nie bal het, kan jy niks doen en ongelukkig.
Corney Korfie, afrigter hier van Harlequins. Hy is tevrede met hy skoppie. Sê skoppie, ek verkleineer hom. En dit was 'n massiewe skop hier veld op. Interessante afrigters by Harlequins. Hulle direkteur van rugby, Gert Miller, hy is ook die direkteur van rugby in Pakistan. Hulle 7 afrigter, Lodewijk van Deventer. Hy is die direkteur van rugby in Indië. So die spel van rugby, hy groei reg om die wêreld. En Harlequins, hulle neem deel aan hierdie proses. Goed om te sien.
Maar dis hoekom ek sê Harlequins is a global club. So clearly they're trying to establish something there in those countries as well. What a smart way to do it. Will bring the kids the requisite skills and bring the people to do that. And hopefully, I don't know if they'll get the type of rugby players, but you never know. If you're in Pakistan or India, you do what Indians and Pakistanis do. So you got to use what you have and actually just coach what's available for you to coach. And obviously, the Rhinos coach really not happy what was he saying.
Ja, jy gaan nie 'n glimlag uit hom het kry in die laaste 4 of so minute nie. Dit is 'n syspan wat hier agterloop met 'n massiewe 22 punte. Weer eens goed gedryf. Dis 'n tipe beweging wat die 3 teweeg gebring het net 'n paar minute terug. Kemashe wat grond toe gevat word hier. Patrick Hatting na Mafu toe. Hy stamp sy man af. Nog steeds beskikbaar, maar goeie werk oor die bal hier deur Harlequins. Fantastiese werk deur Harlequins. Die bal word afgevat. En dis hy man Tebo Dlamini wat in die tweede helfte champagne rugby speel.
Nou, ek dink Williams was nie reg om die job te doen, maar as veronderstel as jy nie 'n loskakel is, maar jy moet in 'n regsituasie moet jy doen wat jy in 'n regsituasie het. Was te hoog, het sy mag gebruik, het definitief was hy gebied daar met rakbal en obviously groot man soos Dlamini het 'n loskakel, jy kan obviously dink wie sal hy oorlog wen op die oomblik.
played the strongest. I think Luke today was playing the strongest. No, they're Luke.
Williams obviously moet 'n bietjie werk aan sy raking. Daar's nie net vat bal skop en 'n bietjie die agterspelers laat gaan nie. En obviously is een van die skills van rugby moet behoort dit ten minste te kan klim, maar hoe vinniger is by die rak, hoe vinniger kan jy die bal ook wen.
Goed gevat daar, is Carling forward. Een van Harlequins se beste spelers in die wedstryd. Hy maak hom mooi beskikbaar. En nou is dit daai man wat 'n fantastiese onderskep 3 gedruk het. Etienne Matthys. Het goed op sy voete bly. Hy het nou weer die bal in die hande. Plaasvervanger. Joandre Michal wat die bal in die hande het. En nou laat loop hulle, daar is hy man Gunter. Weer eens aan Labeskag nie. Dieselfde kombinasie van spelers wat nog 'n 3 teweeg bring. Die binnesenter na die plaasvervanger Labeskag nie. En is weer eens 'n 3 hier vir Harlequins op hulle tuisveld.
Dat is 'n goeie beweging na die tweede fase van die lyn staan. 'n goeie anders over sy lyn na by die buite en die buitesenter in die binnesenter. Doen gaan vat 'n bietjie die flows agter die dummy run en obviously defense was bietjie nou gewees. En obviously die linker vleuel maak net seker met sy spoed laat hy die skop ook bietjie maklik maak vir sy nummer 10.
Ja, ek bevrees is neusie verby vir die manne van Limpopo. Mulder hier met 'n ekstra 2. Hy linkerpoot is heeldag in. En weer eens voeg hy die 2 punte by. Corney Korf is 'n baie gelukkige afrigter op die oomblik. Ja, vir sport maklike rugby. Jy het net daai meerderheid op die buitekant en dan speel jy na waar die gaping is en dis wat hulle gedoen het. Eenvoudige rugby.
Now certainly Udo, man, you gotta earn the right to go wide. Remember, they didn't start playing like this in the beginning. They took the innings, they actually went through their phases. Now they've realized opportunities have come in leaps and bounds. They're certainly taking those opportunities. A cheeky kick there from Rhinos. They're expecting a deep and actually decide to go short. But that's something they should have done earlier to make sure they're close to the scoreboard. Now they need to fight from a way back deficit. But unfortunately, that one not paying off as well. But you can see these guys have got a couple of tricks up their sleeves. But unfortunately, nothing working as they planned. But like I said, I mean, an opportunity to work on some mistakes. They've got a lot of rugby to play this year, and then make sure this is going to be a learning curve going forward, how to do things next time. Not to preempt too much of a game plan, but to make sure that they actually play what the situation offers as well.
I'll tell you what, we got some splendid rugby in the Carlton League coming up in the next few weeks. On the 4th of June, it's this side. Harlequins will go up against the defending champs Naka Bulls. And for the moment, it's the Rhinos on attack, and it's Juris with a lovely pass on the outside. Will he get his man? Oh my goodness, was that a try-saving tackle by the man who went off for a bit of treatment earlier, Kevin Osborne. Referee seems to be happy. Touch judge seems to be happy that it may have been a try.
Only guy probably not happy with that situation must be Osborne. Unfortunately, he felt he might have completed the tackle there, but the touch judge realized that, listen, he tapped the ball down before he was taken out. He was not airborne, but I don't know how he did it. Would be interesting actually to get a rerun for our sanity to make sure that we're actually making sense here, because we felt like he was actually taken out by Osborne, but the referee and the touch judge agreeing that that's not the case. Let's see if this man is going to add 2. What a kick.
Anthony Brunt with a try, the conversion from Kershwell Williams. So 7 consolation points late in the game here. In fact, yeah, just have a look there. Ah, my goodness, touch and go, but the referee says ball dotted down before he went out. In fact, it was Jacobus Wouter de Villiers with the try.
Yeah, certainly agree. I suppose benefit of the doubt for the attacking team. We gotta forgive them. I mean, that was a touch and go. So why not? I mean, just to make things, spice things up as well. Give them something to be happy about for all the trip that they've made all the way to Harlequins World.
Williams with a show, but then goes. And it's Malibu Simanga. Gets the ball up a few more meters. Hutton now to his big man. Does he roll the right way? He does indeed. Lovely little snipe and then a step on the inside. But man taken, ball and all. And now they'll swing it the other way. There's that man once again. Kevin Osborne, he's had a stellar game. Rhinos have taken it away.
Stop it!
Forced back, yeah.
We're having a rugby match within a rugby match, and obviously guys not happy with the situation that took place. I think Rev not happy with Harlequin's discipline there. I think there was some scuffle that took place post the outside center after, and obviously considering that ball, and something happened. And it seemed like it's still going on at the moment.
Loss.
Yeah, just a little bit of dodgy-bargy in the middle of the park here. And we've got possibly the last act of the match being a yellow card dispensed by Paul Mente.
Talking about getting a penalty and taking the law upon to yourself and definitely turning it around. Certainly you can never do that. I mean, that's ill discipline indeed. I mean, Harlequins here, they don't have to do anything. They can tap and kick it out. There's nothing really to play for. They've got a scoreboard in the bag, and then they want to actually add some salt to the wound and maybe practice those kicks for those dire games where they need to actually get kicks over the halfway line, because this is probably going to delay. I mean, there's a similar position where he attempted the drop kick, but let's see now with the place kicking. I bet you he's probably going to slot this one just for the verse and the onverse.
I love the cut of this young man's jib. Hendrik Mulder, 26-year-old, the lefty. He's had a couple of kicks from within his own half today. This one to take them to 43 points. 44, I beg yours. It's got the contact on it. The direction good. And that is a monster to end this game. Hendrik Mulder with a 52-meter kick to take his side to 44 points on the day. And a massive win for Harlequins over the losing finalists of the Carlton Cup last season. Kershwell Williams, he played his heart out today, but it just wasn't enough. As a team effort, it just wasn't enough. Just 19 points on the day, Lawrence.
Yeah, certainly 19 points for their effort today. But I suppose the home team came here with a plan and made sure they stuck to their guns, were patient enough, waited for the right opportunities. I mean, obviously, the board scoreboard tells the final result as to what took place today. 44 points to 19, well deserved there from home team Harlequins, who showed a bit of discipline. And obviously, at the end, there was a bit of unnecessary scuffle, just frustrations there from the visiting team. But that's the final score for you.
5 tries to 3. Harlequins 44-19 winners over the Northern Rhinos. So the men from the iron mining side of Limpopo will return home with their tails between their legs, because they've been well and truly beaten in a match that was highly competitive and incredibly entertaining. It's Heritage Rugby at its best here on SABC Sport, of course, in conjunction with our partners SEI Sport, and it's third round action from the Carlton League Cup in Pretoria. With that, though, we say goodbye.
Lights out, W series is underway. Oh, there's been hit. Jamie Chadwick's been hit. Oh, look at this. There's a change to the lead. And there's the move.
Head down and get up to the car in front.